Hello everyone. In physics classes we are solving NCERT exercise of chapter 1 of the unit electrostatics. We have already solved the first 3 numericals in our first video. Now from this we are going to start from the fourth one. The fourth one numerical is actually not a numerical, it's a conceptual question that is asking explain the meaning of statement that electric charge of a body is quantized. Students, as you know very well that each and every topic of this chapter 1, electric charge and field, I have already made the videos of all the topics. In lecture number 2, in the playlist you can check, there are so many playlists. There is a playlist of the name Unit Electrostatics chapter 1. The lecture number 2 means the second video of this topic is there, basic properties of electric charge. There it is mentioned that how we can explain that the quantization of electric charge. So this question we can easily do from that video. If you have already listened that video, that concept is already clear to you. If you didn't listen that video yet, then you are going to listen that video and it will be clear to you. So in question number 4, there are 2 parts. First part you can make it clear by listening the video number 2, lecture number 2 of the unit electrostatic. For part 2, the question is, why can one ignore the quantization of electric charge when dealing with the macroscopic level, that is large scale charges? We know quantization is given saying that charge on any body is always equals to integral multiple of charge on an electron. We know whenever we are having 2 bodies, if they are uncharged, the charging between them, suppose I am taking a procedure of rubbing, if we are rubbing those, then electrons are going to transfer from one object to another, one body to another. The body which is losing electron will gain positive charge and which is gaining electron will get negative charge. So this is transfer of electron. If no transfer of electron is there, then no charging will be there. And this is the quantization that charge on any body is always going to be integral multiple of E. E is the charge on an electron. If 1 electron is transferred, 2 electron is transferred, then charge of that body will be integral multiple of E according to the integer n. Positive and negative sign is showing because of this. The body which is losing the electron will have positive charge. The body which is accepting the electrons will have negative charge. That's why this positive and negative sign is there. But this quantization is well applicable at the microscopic level when we have a limited number of charges with us, limited number of transfer of the electrons from one body to another. At macroscopic level, we have a large number of transfer of electrons which we cannot easily calculate, which we cannot deal with them by definite values. Like these are having so large values that n is going to be too large. In the front of this value, that E is going to be very smaller than this n. Means the value of charge on single electron is going to be ignored in the terms of the number of electrons. That's why at macroscopic level we have a huge number of electrons there, a huge number of charged bodies there. Their charge of 1 electron is really having a very negligible value. So at macroscopic level, this quantization is not practically acceptable. We are going to apply this equation at the microscopic level. So moving to the question number 5. The question number 5 is saying that when a glass rod is rubbed with a when a glass rod is rubbed with silk cloth, charges appear on the both. A similar phenomena is observed with many other pairs of the bodies. Explain how this observation is consistent with the law of conservation of charge. Law of conservation of charge is saying that charge can neither be created nor be destroyed. Okay, means charge is conserved always. We are saying glass is rubbed with silk, they both get charged. Any two pairs of the body, we can means any one pair of the bodies we can take. Suppose one body A is rubbed with another body B. When they are getting rubbed with each other, it is true that always one is getting positive value and another will going to get the negative value. It can't be possible like both are having the positive value of charge or both are having the negative. No, it cannot possible. One body will gain positive charge and second body will gain negative charge. In fourth numerical also we have discussed, charging is because of the transfer of electrons. When we are rubbing two bodies, electrons are getting energy, they are excited, they leave their position, they move from one body to another. And when in an atom, number of electrons and number of protons are equal. That's why they are neutral. But when they are going to lose their electron, so they will have more number of protons, they acquire positive charge, and the body which is gaining the electrons, as because it was also neutral before rubbing, it is having now more number of electrons than that of the protons, so it is having negative charge. So whenever we are rubbing two bodies with each other, one body will have positive charge and another will have negative charge. Who have capacity to donate the electron will gain positive charge, and who have tendency to accept the electrons, that will gain negative charge. Okay, so now the positive means if one electron is transferred, it will get one positive charge and it will get one negative charge. If two electrons are transferred, it will get two positive charge, it will get two negative. The charge on an electron is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, it will depend on the number of transferred electrons. So that's why whenever a pair is rubbing with each other, this charge is going to be produced in pair. Two equal and opposite charges will be there. If we discussed about the time when we were not rubbing them, means before rubbing, it was neutral, it was also neutral. So no charge was there. After rubbing, it gains some positive charge and it gains some negative charge. That positive and negative charge is equal in magnitude, but opposite in signs. So if I am going to adding then two electrons positive and two electrons negative, the resultant charge will be again 0. So before rubbing and after rubbing, net charge on the both bodies is 0. Net charge is 0 means charge is conserved. So that is saying that law of conservation of charge is consistent with all the examples of this type. Means before rubbing, the net charge of the bodies was 0, and after rubbing they acquire same charge but of opposite sign. 2 positive, 2 negative, or 3 positive, 3 negative. So net charge again will be 0. This is proving that law of conservation of charge is applicable everywhere. So now moving to the question number 6. It is saying that 4-point charges QA is equals to 2 microcoulomb, QB is equals to minus 5 microcoulomb, QC 2 microcoulomb and QD minus 5 microcoulomb are located at the corners of a square ABCD of side 10 centimeter. Means we have a square A, B, C, D of side 10 centimeter. Because it is a square, so every side will be 10. And when we were talking about the charges, QA is 2 microcoulomb, QB is minus 5 microcoulomb, QC is minus 2 microcoulomb and QD is plus 5 microcoulomb. It is already given the value of charges placed at the corners of a square of 10 centimeter side. What is the force on a charge of 1 microcoulomb placed at the center of square? Means at its center, suppose I am saying its center is denoted by O, a charge is placed 1 microcoulomb. Then what will be the net charge because of all these charges on this one? Okay, if it is a square, means its side are 10 now, obviously then its diagonal are also going to be equal. of the diagonals will also going to be equal to each other. So this distance means this charge present at the center of square 1 microcoulomb is at the same distance apart from the A point, and it is at the same distance apart from the C point. Means from the corner C, from the corner A, it is equidistance. From the corner D and corner B, it is also equidistant. At the center, the charge is 1 microcoulomb, and at point A is 2 microcoulomb. Both are positive. They are going to repel each other. So it is going to repel in that direction. 1 microcoulomb and minus 2 microcoulomb. Okay, they are going to attract each other. So this is going to be, there will be attraction and here will be repulsion. Means that is attracting and this is repelling. Similarly, here minus 5 microcoulomb and plus 5 microcoulomb. Means you can see, students, the magnitude is same. 5 microcoulomb, 5 microcoulomb. 2 microcoulomb, 2 microcoulomb. Only the signs are opposite. One is attracting and another is repelling. The same for this one. They are having same magnitude. If I am going to calculate the magnitude, that will be same. Force of attraction between these two. Force of attraction between these two. Magnitude will be same. Force of attraction between these two, force of attraction between these two will also same, because F is given by K Q1 Q2 upon R square. If we discuss about the magnitude only, it will be same for this and this pair. It will be same for this and this pair. But for both these pairs, the direction is opposite. Magnitude is same and direction is opposite. So it is going to neglect each other. Similarly for these two, because this distance is also same. R is same, Q1, Q2 is same for this pair and this pair. But the direction is opposite, so they are going to neglect each other. These two pairs are going to neutralize their effect. These two pairs are also going to neutralize their effect. So the net force on this charge will be 0. Why? Because at all the corners, at opposite corners, equal and opposite forces acting on it. Okay, equal and opposite forces going to neutralize each other. For this pair also, because the magnitude is same, 5 and 5 with 1. 1 and 5, 1 and 5. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Distance is also same. So magnitude is same for the diagonally opposite, direction is opposite. So net force on this central charge will be 0. Net force will be 0. Now moving towards the question number 7. And question number 7 is saying that an electrostatic field line is a continuous curve. That is, a field line cannot have sudden breaks. Why not? We know electric field lines. Electric field lines are imaginary lines. They are just showing the direction of electric field. Okay, if we have straight line, that is showing the direction of electric field. If we are having the curved line, at any point if we want to find out the direction, we need to draw a tangent on it. Again, I would like to suggest that in the playlist of the chapter electrostatics, the lecture number 8 is about the electric field lines. All the properties of electric field lines are there. You can listen that video also, and I am explaining it here also. That it is showing electric field lines are continuous, means no breaks are there. Okay, so what does it mean? Suppose, students, we have a source charge and a test charge. Test charge is obviously having its magnitude very small. Source charge, because of its electric field intensity, is there. So this electric field is responsible for this test charge motion. If they are of same nature, there will be repulsion. If they are of opposite natures, there will be attraction. So if it is positive, it is negative, it is going to attract it towards its side. Okay, this test charge is moving continuously towards the source charge. The actual path of this test charge towards the source charge or away from the source charge is told by the electric field lines. Electric field lines are showing the actual path of this motion of the charges in the presence of field. Means they are showing the direction of field. So it is saying that this path is continuous. This charge is not directly jumping from here to here. It is continuously moving towards the test charge. If similar charges are there, it is repelling from its side. Okay, repulsion is there. So it is moving away from it. Continuous motion is there. No jumping is there. Like only initial position and final position. It's not like that. It is continuously moving. A path is followed by the test charge. So this is shown by the electric field lines. That's why electric field lines are continuous. They do not have any break in them. For the question number 7, we have the part B. Explain why two field lines never cross each other. You can see the video number 8, lecture number 8 of the unit electrostatic. It is saying why not two electric field lines are crossing each other. We are saying electric field lines are showing the direction of electric field, suppose. Now according to line 1 at this point P, where two lines are interacting, because of this line, direction of electric field is in this direction, and because of line 2 it is in this direction. Whenever we have a curved electric field line, and at any point if we want to find out the direction, we are going to draw a tangent there. If I am going to draw a tangent here, so it will be the direction of electric field. According to line 1 at point P, direction of electric field is this. According to line 2 at point P, direction of electric field is in this direction. At the same point, electric field, how can it have two different directions? At the same point P, how it can have two different directions? It cannot be possible. A single physical quantity at a single point will have single direction. It cannot be possible. That's why interaction of two electric field lines is not possible. Okay. Now moving towards the question number 8. Question number 8 is asking that 2-point charges QA is 3 microcoulomb and QB is minus 3 microcoulomb are located 20 centimeter apart in the vacuum. So we have two charges. QA is 3 microcoulomb and QB is minus 3 microcoulomb. They are placed in the vacuum 20 centimeter apart. Okay. Now two questions are asked here. For part first, what is the electric field at the midpoint O? Midpoint O, that means this is 10 centimeter, this is also 10 centimeter. Electric field intensity at this point O we need to find out. We have already discussed the topics electric field intensity due to a point charge, electric field intensity due to a group of charges. Here we have a group of two charges. So electric field intensity at this will be given by the superposition principle. We are going to add the electric field intensity due to these 2 points. Okay. So electric field intensity is given by E is equals to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R square. This is the value of electric field intensity due to this charge. If you are observing this thing, the magnitude of this charge as well as of this charge is same. So electric field intensity due to A point will be equals to electric field intensity due to B point. Means if I am asking about the magnitude only, the electric field intensity due to this point and electric field intensity due to this point will be same here. Why? Because the magnitude of both the charges is same, and from this point O they are equidistant, 10 centimeter, 10 centimeter. So at point O, electric field intensity will be given by 2 times EA. If I am talking about the magnitude only, okay, because it will, the electric field intensity at O will be the sum of two intensities due to charge A and due to charge B. They are 10 centimeter apart from point O and their magnitude is also same. So it will be 2 times this thing. Q is 3. 2 into Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R square. R is meter. Because it is in centimeter, I need to convert it into the SI unit. So I can write it 10 to the power minus 1 meter. So I am going to place its value 3 microcoulomb. Means 3 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb. 2 into 3 into 10 to the power minus 6 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is K and its value is 9 into 10 to the power 9 upon R square, means 10 to the power minus 1 ka whole square. Students, K is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught and its value is 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. So 1 upon this is replaced by in the numerator. And on solving this, we get a value 5.4 into 10 to the power 6 Newton per coulomb. So electric field intensity at this point O will be given by 5.4 into 10 to the power 6 Newton per coulomb. This is about the magnitude. What about the direction? Due to the positive charge, electric field intensity will be outward, and for this negative charge, electric field intensity will be towards the charge. So this line is having this direction. So electric field intensity will be in this direction from A to B. The magnitude is given by that much and direction of electric field will be given by from A to B. This was the part A of the question number A. Moving towards the part B. If a negative test charge of magnitude 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 9. 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 9 coulomb is placed at the point O. What is the force experienced by that test charge? Means if at point O a negative charge is placed of value this minus 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 9 coulomb, then what will be the force experienced by this charge due to the electric field intensity? Students, we have already find out the electric field intensity at point O, which is due to the presence of two equal and opposite charges. Okay, and if we know the value of electric field intensity, we know electric field intensity is given by force per unit charge. So we can say force is given by the charge into electric field intensity. And the test charge here is given by minus 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 9 coulomb. And electric field intensity is given by 5.4 into 10 to the power 6 Newton coulomb. So this one will be the value of force. And after calculating it, we get its value minus 8.1 into 10 to the power minus 3 Newton. Okay, this will be the force acting on this test charge due to the presence of electric field. We have calculated electric field in first part and then we have calculated the force of interaction on the test charge by this. Okay, so this is the force. It is negative direction. So it will be along B to A. Because the direction of E was A to B and it is negative. This negative sign is showing that the interaction or direction of force will be in the opposite direction of E because of this negative sign. So this is about the numerical number 8. I hope from 4th to 8th all numericals are clear to you. In next we are going to discuss next numericals. Thank you.